church day again and off to
Apparently not.
on the road. If anybody even shows up for it.
Apparently not. I don't know why those are there when no one's there.
Because they put them out before people get here. Here we go.
What was that?
Huh?
What was that?
What? It's shifting.
No. You were waving something. You were waving to the vehicle. I was asking if you what?
It looked like they were slowing down to turn for the church. So I waved, trying to be nice. Kind of looked almost like the people from yesterday as well. Rainy day. You know, so I did learn on my editing platform how to extract sound from the video. So like if I'm talking and I say something that I don't want on the video,
Where my earbuds going?
I can extract the sounds and have it as it's separate, and then with it being extracted I can edit by removing the sound. Like yesterday the GPS was on and talking, and I learned how to get so I can extract the voice of the GPS from the video for confidential reasons of people where we go and stuff like that. I learned how to extract the GPS sound. Oh, there's the Amish, of course, right in the corner. Right up there. So, like, when it was saying to turn on that road type of thing,
Amish
figured
was
out
there.
how to extract the sound from the GPS saying that road to keep it confidential for 'em. And then after extracting the sound from the video, I was able to remove the sound. So that remember that person that we talked to with the same truck as Cousin Faith that had the steering key problem?
Yeah.
And we talked to him at Jackson's Corner Store.
Yeah, when I had that bad day, yeah.
I seen him yesterday going up and down the road a couple times. Our road. Then this morning, I was watching another YouTuber, and his name is, he goes by Dangerous Dan. I was watching him this morning, one of his videos. There was a clip because he goes through and does reactions to funny clips from TikTok clips, and one of them was super funny. It reminded me of you. Yeah. You know why? There was somebody that say, basically up where that car is up in front of us, that far ahead of them, somebody turned out in the same lane as them, and they started yelling and screaming and everything at them, saying, seriously, what the F, and this and that, and are you effing kidding me, and this and that.
Talking like what I do sometimes?
Yeah, when people pull out in front of us, even if they're like a mile away.
See, they have it too. The spider webs.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna call it?
Spider webs that are on the grass she's talking about.
How much am I paying?
Whatever. At the gas station again. And it's been raining. I got this, which if you always notice, I always have this on because between sweat and rain and everything else. So I always have that on my shoulder. I learned this trick when I was in Florida, so when I was in Florida, I was sweating a lot, and I actually learned it from somebody that had narcolepsy, and they used to have one frozen in the freezer to put on the back of their neck for if they had an episode, a narcoleptic episode. So I got these on, which are awesome. You can see that's what it looks like through them, without them, with them. These were actually a set of 3 from TikTok Shop for free, because I have over 5,000 followers on there, so I got them for free as a sample. 3 pairs. So Mandy has a pair that she normally wears as well. There's 2 pairs in the Jeep and the pair I have. And then I have the other ones you normally see me with, the like sleeker ones, but they're blue or something. I'm partially colorblind, so, and I got contact lenses because I'm super blind. Other than that, if I don't have them, I can't see a couple feet in front of me. But other than that, I have the ones I've been normally wearing, but if you noticed, they're like super crooked, so I stopped wearing them until I could get them fixed, straightened out and stuff. And Marketplace Shuffle update is that we are getting a part for the Craftsman 2 riding lawnmower. We're getting the head gasket and valve gasket and stuff for it, so it will be 100% fixed and not have any problems with it at all after that. And got somebody that said they would want to buy it for $400 if we do that. So if we get, which a gasket for that was only actually $10, so it was not bad at all. We thought it was worth a lot more than that, so we thought it was more expensive for that gasket than it was, and it's not. So now we got it coming, and it was supposed to be here yesterday, but it didn't show up, so apparently it's going to be here Monday. And this is the kids cam, which has Morty on it right there in the back, and Mandy, and then that's out the back window. That's my kind of reverse camera type of thing, so you can be able to see reverse. Now continuing to go to Winslow. So come join us for the dash cam of the Sunday morning drive. There we go. Get out of this spot. Should have threw that can all the way in the back if it's completely empty. Somebody cleaning their dump truck.
Why would you do that?
Huh?
Why would you do that?
I was beeping and waving to him because he waved to me. He stopped pressure washing for a second and waved. So I was being nice and waving back. And now there's a whole bunch of vehicles coming.
You could have gone.
Yeah, I don't want to hammer on it. This thing has over 200,000 miles on it. I do not like to hammer on the gas with it any more than I have to. Oh, 9 a.m. And we're on the way. Look, what my box. For today, and then next time can bring the actual board.
This is what?
Second. So not next weekend, but the weekend after. Yeah, bump ups.
Well, they have games there at the table. Yeah, there's little machine things that have games on it.
Yeah, the IQ test games. Probably.
It's like a little
sends me news updates for the state of Maine that we live in. And one of the news updates in the last week was actually that with the solar farms, like back there on the left-hand side, they actually are that they had funding to pay solar farm businesses a certain amount to try and like get them to go more, get Maine to be more solar powered, but instead they only had it set up for 760 megawatts, and then it ended up being that now, as of last month, the input of the power from solar farms to the state was at the lowest 1,600 megawatts for the lowest amount going into the power grid at any point last month. So the highest input was over 2,000 to 3,000 megawatts of power being put into the power grid, power system from solar power of these people. That what they did is they had open field enough that they got solar panels, put it out there to be able to not be using power from the power company, which is what was it? CMP, Central Maine Power.
Oh my goodness.
They ended up that a lot of people don't need power from Central Maine Power, which is the power company here in Maine, from just putting some solar panels up. And then they saved the money that they, instead of paying the power company and stuff, they saved that money to buy more solar panels. When they bought more solar panels, they expanded more and more and more, and now we got fields of that are privately owned that now have full of solar panels. And like, even when you go on or off the interstate up here, every one of those curves for the on and off ramp for the interstate, they have installed solar panels there. They cleared all the trees and everything and put solar panels. So, since it's starting to do that, and there's so much solar power going into the grid, that they allotted, they were supposed to be paying for every 5 megawatts that was added to the grid from anybody's residence or company or anything. Now they got these solar farms that people have filled their fields with solar panels and everything. Now it's that they're paying more money out than they expected, like 3 times as much. That's the first time I've ever seen a vehicle that's strange. But
And then they want to buy it, so they're going to look at it.
yeah, they so now all these solar farms, they're paying out way more than they expected, which now the government wants to, in the state of Maine, they want to actually stop the bill that was passed to pay so much to these solar farms of people putting power or building these solar farms because they're spending more money on paying people for the power they put in than they're getting to pay for all their employees and for everything that they maintain. So they're losing money. And the last year's voting was actually, I hate this corner. It's a blind corner. There's one on each side that comes through, and people from not around, and even some people from the area just don't stop through there. So very dangerous. They actually last year in the voting, they had it as something to vote on for they wanted to switch Central Maine Power, which is the pretty much only power company in the whole state of Maine, which is privately owned corporation in the state type of thing. They wanted to make that company sell itself to the state of Maine. They wanted to make it that they had to approve, that they wanted a vote to make it that Central Maine Power company here in the state was called Pine Tree Power, and they wanted it to be owned by the state instead. So it would have been owned by the government instead of private people, which then it was going to be like $3 billion or something to purchase that they were offering for it, to buy the power company out, to be government owned instead of privately owned. And with that, it ended up being, it got denied that I know of, but because they wanted to raise everybody's property tax, sales tax, all of the taxes in the state, just so they could pay that like over $3 billion to buy them out. So we would have had to pay for all of the residents, and everybody that came to the state would have had to pay higher taxes on everything, so then they could recoup the $3 billion that they were going to, and that's billion with a B, to buy this company, to be government owned instead of privately owned. So kind of messed up, and everybody voted against it, at least that I heard. So kind of glad that things are not more expensive from taxes, but then now they're raising, I just seen, there's a house for sale. I just seen yesterday, I think it was, yesterday on Google News and stuff, from the news updates on there, I seen that they turn around and, because a week or so ago, I think it was, it said that they were giving all United States Postal employees, United States Postal Service employees, they were giving them another 7% increase of money and everything. And then yesterday it came up telling me that the Forever stamp, the USA Forever stamp, the flag on it, which is normally $1. There's 50 cents or $1 or something. That stamp for mail, to send a letter at all through the regular post office in our state, or at least in our state, that stamp is now being upped in price, that it's going to be more expensive as of today, actually. So now if we go to buy a stamp to send a letter to somebody through the mail, it's going to be more expensive because they raised it to generate more money coming in, to generate the money to give the whole postal service the 7% increase on funding, and all employees get a 7% raise, and they get a raise, and because they're getting a 7% increase for everything in funds and all that. So kind of we're crazy. Everything's going up in price. Even stamps that are supposed to be a set price across the country is now going up in price because the postal service is going up in price, and they're getting paid more, so they're raising prices on everything to be able to pay everybody and everything through it more. But that's the little bit of government talk and like news talk for this Sunday. We're going to be doing paranormal investigating. I didn't get to text the guy to ask him if he could open it, so hopefully he will be able to.
Well, after the last time, I don't know if
Yeah, he will.
I think he'd rather wait until you get there.
Yeah. I normally try to text him the night before to ask him, let him know what time I'm being there. I'm going to be there to be able to open it. To get it open so I can go in.
There's probably going to be a club soon there.
Yep. Perfectly fine. I'll probably be adding in some of me trying to fly the drone a little bit, see if I can do that a little bit better. Once it get going good and everything, and being able to get a good regular amount of money coming in, and be able to have a little bit extra, the bills and stuff. One of my investments I want to do for the channel is one of the drones like the big creators have and stuff, FP Sparks and all that, where the screen is built into the controller type of thing.
Oh. I thought that car was going to pull out right in front of that truck. I was like, are you kidding me? Watch out for what? Husband?
Pedestrians. There was an undercover just went by too. He said, watch out for pedestrians.
Oh, I can't get hit. Oh, the kitten. Oh, poor thing. It was all black with a white right here. What won't work?
Sure it wasn't a raccoon like
No.
oh my gosh.
No, it was a kitten.
It was funny, we watched on Omar Gosh TV here on YouTube. We watched a video of he was at the Gatorland, one of the Gatorland videos that he recently uploaded all of the videos from when he first went to Gatorland in Florida, all the way to the most recent time he's been there.
Look at that.
Oh, that is awesome car. I like those ones. So he uploaded those videos. With those videos, there was some parts in it that he was calling for a cat, and he goes, "Oh, there's a cat," and he's saying, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty," and stuff like that to the cat a whole bunch of times. And then next thing you know, after like quite a while of him calling for this thing and seeing it like 3 or 4 different times going through the place with the tour, he sees it finally close enough that he goes, he's calling for it to come here. He goes, "Oh, come here, kitty, kitty," and kneels down, and even everything, thinking that it's a complete cat the whole time. It kneels down, everything to get to lower to its level and stuff. After that, he finds out it was a raccoon the whole time, running around the hinterland, thinking it's a cat, but it was a raccoon.
We need one.
Yeah, I know. I've been looking at a bunch of them. Somebody
There's
left
trash.
one on the side of the road, and they got trash all over the place. That's not safe at all. So make sure if you see a cat, before you get down to its level or lower to the ground, that makes it harder to get away from it, and start calling for it to come to you at the same time and trying to give it treats and everything. Make sure it's an actual cat, not a raccoon.
Or a skunk.
Or like Andy said, a skunk. So I seen in the Capitol here in Maine, I seen what I thought was a white cat. And it ended up not being a white cat. It was a complete albino white skunk. And I thought it was, at first I thought it was a shopping bag, because it was back when the white plastic shopping bags were around.
Don't you dare, don't you dare.
And so I thought it was a white shopping bag. Then I thought it was, when I seen it move and realized it wasn't a cat, it wasn't a shopping bag, I was like, "Oh, it's a cat." And then I found out it was not a cat, it was a white skunk. Yeah, you better wait. Audi. See, it was something like as far ahead as that Jeep up there from us. There was a little video of a car pulling out into the same lane like that Jeep did, that far ahead. And it actually stayed ahead of the person just as much. And the guy started screaming, "No, you effing didn't. No, you're effing kidding me." And serious, and starts freaking out because the car pulled out in front of him and went when it was pretty well a football field ahead ahead of him at the closest to him. It was at the same speed as the traffic that was there before it pulled out in front of him. That was already in front of him. It was that far ahead of him and keeping up with that traffic. So it was really funny. But Mandy does that when a vehicle's at an intersection and takes off and at the intersection, either going the opposite way or going the same way. But yes, I understand. It
How
does.
many accidents have we seen over by our house or everywhere?
a picture in the video here. I'll put up a picture of the intersection that we were in an accident with. And I'll try to see if I can do a little diagram of how it happened. Like, where the other car came from and where we came from. So it was a full-way intersection with a light. So it was a complete light, red, yellow, green, whatever. So it was at the top of a hill from the direction we were coming. The bottom of a hill from the direction they were coming, which was straight across from us. And then it was flat on each side. So if we turned left or right, it would have been flat to turn onto for the road. And it was flat where straight ahead from us. So it was coming, when they were coming towards us, they stopped at the light, or got to the light, and it went to yield, the orange or yellow, whatever. Like I said, I'm partially colorblind, so to me it looks yellow, because yellow and red are the primary colors I can see the best, so they're my favorite colors. But when they came to the intersection, the light was already at caution and yield. And with that, they went to go turn left at the intersection. The people did. And they went to go turn right before it turned red. They said the guy said he thought he had time to turn the intersection going left through it when he got to the light with it being at yield for red. And we were going, only thing we could see of the intersection going up the hill at a certain point was the green light that it was for our side to go. Because going straight across the intersection, the green light stays on longer than it doesn't even come on for our side until it's red for the left turning that's straight across from us. So this guy turns. He kind of seemed like a kid. He was younger by far. He turned left, but when we came up the hill, Andy was going the speed limit coming up the hill, and we had the green light, and she just kept going so she could make the light and get across the intersection for the light while it was still green, because it did not even start to change at all. And I think we didn't even have a dash cam at that time, and we used to, but we didn't have it at the time in that vehicle, which it's the same vehicle that my parents drive, a 2012 Impala. They fixed it, but with that, he was turning left, and instead of halfway through the intersection turning, he hit the brake instead. He just stopped in the middle of the intersection when we got to it. So when we got to the intersection, he just hit the brake instead, and he stopped right in front of us as we came through. That Mandy tried to hit the brake when she got to the top of the hill, seeing it. This guy stopped in the middle of the intersection, but even with hitting the brake,
still was too short of a time to even skid the tires of hitting the brake before smashing into the passenger side of this person. And with that, he was a primary care provider and had a patient in the back seat as well. So the patient was in the back seat, his primary care provider for, and they were like, what, 10 years old?
Yeah.
Or something like that, 8 years old to 10 years old, and their head got hit off the side of his car, and this and that. He admitted fault over and over and over again to us in video and to the police officer as well, over and over and over again, admitted fault that he stopped in the middle of the intersection and he shouldn't have, and this and that. But they still made it that with insurance and everything, but they put it as at fault for me and so it ended up going on her driving record as an at fault instead.
Why are we crooked?
Because that's the way the parking spot is. They're offset. Which I gotta go back a little bit more. So it was very messed up that they put it as an at fault for her when it was an at fault on him, and he admitted it because he said that the light was red, just changed red as he was going through the intersection. So that's something that happened with us and was not a pleasant experience. It's a flatbed. Kim's Garage, Winslow.
Well, they
But
were.
appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully everybody's having a great Sunday morning. I'm gonna end this so then I can get a hold of the guy to open up the fort for the paranormal investigation.